The name literally means man. You don't get more manly than man. Hello name nerds, my name is Patrick and welcome to Fun with First Names, where each week we're looking into the meaning, origin and some extra fun facts behind one specific first name. And this week we're looking into the first name of Andrew. But before we begin, I just want to talk about my Patreon. Now, as you know, I've been running a campaign to try and get to $700 a month on Patreon by the end of March. And here's the really funny thing about that. Since I began this campaign, my Patreon numbers have actually been going down, which I didn't expect, but you guys are clearly responding in one way to this Patreon campaign. I think I'm probably the only YouTuber who can ask people to donate on Patreon and the numbers go down. That's fun. I don't know, I'm not bitter about it, honestly, I just found that was really funny. If you do want to support on Patreon, it's the best way to support the channel. nameexplain.com/Patreon, patreon.com/nameexplain. That's probably what it's going to say all the time, because I'm saying it wrong. But yeah, it's on there. If we hit $700 by the end of March, I'm going to go film a video out in the wild somewhere in nature. That's for you guys to decide. If you want to do it, I'd really appreciate it. But anyway, on with today's name of Andrew. And as you may know, various names have different connotations to them. This is something we've talked about in the past with your Karens and your Kevins of the world. However, some names have a certain manly connotation to them. When I looked into the names that are considered manly, names like Butch and Lance and Ace and Blaze all came up. They're all very manly, rugged, manly names. However, if you were to ask me, I don't think any of these names are actually the manliest name. I think one name in particular is the manliest of names, and that's because its definition and meaning is quite literally manly. That of course is the name we're talking about today, Andrew. And it's also one of those really cool names that can be split down the middle to make two different nicknames. You've got Andy, which is most commonly seen on the feet of small toys, and Drew is also a nickname for Andrew as well. I love when names can do that. My name can technically do that, but I don't really get called Rick all that much. This is a name also really synonymous with Scotland, that being primarily because of St. Andrew. St. Andrew is the patron saint of Scotland in the same way that St. David in Wales, St. George here in the UK, St. Patrick over in Ireland, both bits of Ireland. Yeah, I don't know. Does Northern Ireland have St. Patrick as well? Let me know if you know. But Andrew is the Scottish version of this, so Andrew's a really popular Scottish name, and we're talking about Scottish Andrew in a moment. However, this name is not of Scottish origins. In fact, it's not of any sort of Celtic origins at all. It's in fact a name of Greek origins. The name of Andrew comes from the Greek Andreas, and this name of Andreas comes from the Greek word aner, meaning man. And then I imagine this Greek name went on the normal journey his name went on. It went from Greeks to the Romans to the French to the English in 1066. You know the drill. As I said, I believe this is the manliest name possible, quite simply because of its meaning. The name literally means man. You don't get more manly than man. Though on top of this, a lot of sources go even further than the name Andrew meaning just man. Many sources said this name of Andrew means strong and manly. Like I said, this really is the manliest of manly names. It literally means strong and manly. You don't get more manly than being strong and manly and all that sort of stuff, I suppose. Though of course, if you disagree with me, that's fine. And also, like, what even is being manly? You know, like, is it a big mustache? Is it big muscles? I don't know. Manliness, masculinity, it's all kind of a bit daft really, I suppose. But if you're into that sort of thing, you can't go any further than the name Andrew. If you want a man to have a manly name, call him Andrew. Let me know if you're very manly Andrew. Let me know what the manliest thing you do, Andrew. I want to know, do you like chop wood with your bare hands or punch sharks? I don't know what the men do. Talk about their feelings. That's the manliest thing you can do, guys. Talk about your feelings. Trust me. And that's not even ironic. Just men, talk about your feelings more. Cool? Cool. As I said, Andrew is a pretty darn popular name to this day. In the USA, it's the 52nd most popular boy's name. Here in the UK, it's the 267th most popular boy's name, but in Scotland specifically, it's the 76th most popular boy's name. So it's a pretty darn popular name in the UK as well. More popular in America. Didn't see that coming. There is of course a whole plethora of famous Andrews, Andys, Andrews. And the first one I guess that comes to mind for me has to be Andrew Garfield, who famously wasn't in Spider-Man No Way Home.
It's Andrew Garfield playing Spider-Man again. Yeah. Oh, you almost got me. No, I'm not. Crying out loud.
You heard him. He wasn't in it. He said he's not in it. And I watched the film and I didn't see him in it, or maybe I left early. I don't know, but it was an okay film. I thought there would be more in it, but clearly not. And I thought he was going to be in it, but he wasn't. Andrew Garfield said himself, not in Spider-Man No Way Home. So there's that. There's also Andy Samberg, who's in Brooklyn 999. Brooklyn 999? Brooklyn 911. If it was British, it would be Brooklyn 999, I suppose. But no, this is set in Brooklyn, obviously. Gosh, it would be like Bedford 999. That would be fun. I'd watch that, maybe. He's also part of the Lonely Island, a terrific comedy group. And he was also in the BBC Three show Cuckoo. Go watch Cuckoo. It's a really odd show. I won't spoil it for you, but go check that out. That's really good fun as well. And of course, there's also Andy Warhol, famous pop artist. Cans of soup he painted or draw or took pictures of Marilyn Monroe. You know Andy Warhol. And of course, in regards to Drew, there's only one Drew that comes to mind for me, and that's Drew McIntyre. He's the first ever British WWE champion. He's called Drew, he's Scottish, and he is so gosh darn manly. I know I said, like, what is manliness, but if there's a more manly man than Drew McIntyre, I haven't met him yet. Look at that chest hair. Makes your womb tremble. But anyway, that's more than enough about the name Andrew. But what are your thoughts on this name? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Do you know anyone with the name Andrew? Are you called Andrew yourself? Let me know down in the comments below. And of course, I want to share some thoughts you guys on last week's name of Elvis. Boz Naked Disneysick said, my brother's name is Elvis. It's not a super common name in Bosnia, but it's also not a rare name either. I know of a handful of guys named Elvis, not including my brother, amongst the Bosnian diaspora, I always struggle with that word, against the Bosnian diaspora in St. Louis. How very interesting. So there's a lot of interesting stuff with that. First, that Elvis is clearly a popular name in Bosnia-Herzegovina, or maybe just the Bosnia part of it. And also there's lots of Bosnian people in St. Louis. I know people in St. Louis. Kind of know people in St. Louis. Hi if you're watching from there. Hi if you're Bosnian. That's cool. Let me know more about your Bosnian Elvises. I need to know. Or Elvi. Someone said that the plural for Elvis is Elvi. I Google it. I think it's Elvises, but I understand why you might think it's Elvi. Hikarito said, in Finland, when I was a kid/teen, the name Elvis became slang, Elvis Stella, meaning being prideful, to show off, or bragging in bad, wrong, or annoying ways. How interesting. I presume that must come from Elvis Presley himself, because he was sort of seen as being a very prideful, boastful person. So it may relate to him, it might not relate to him, but that's really interesting. Thanks for sharing. And Zach Neal said, you missed that in the French translation of Harry Potter, Voldemort's middle name is Elvis. That is so cool. So I did know about all the different translations of Voldemort's name. Tom Marvolo Riddle, they wanted that anagram to work in different languages. That's a really cool fact. I did not know or remember, however, that Elvis was in his French name. Amber, could we get some sort of Photoshop of Voldemort with Elvis's hair? Something like that. Just do something funny, Amber, because I trust in you. That's very good stuff. We all laughed. Go suggest some names down in the comments below, and I'll pick 3 of those to be put into a poll exclusively for my patrons to vote on for the next Fun with First Names video. So if you enjoyed the channel, want to help support it, and have a say in what names get explained, then please do consider becoming a patron. As I said, my Patreon numbers just go whoo at the moment, so if you want to help stop that avalanche and make sure I don't have to end up working in a supermarket again, please do consider donating on Patreon if you want to and if you can afford to, of course. You get more than just a good feeling of help supporting me. There's loads of extra content on there. Ad-free videos, exclusive content, a chance to say what names get explained, loads of great stuff going on Patreon. Let's get this right this time. Patreon.com/nameexplain. Link down below. But anyway, that's more than enough of myself. But don't forget to go follow me on Instagram, where I'm NameExplainYT, and don't forget to go join the Facebook group, Friends of Name Explain. Okay guys, take care. So connotations are... some names are seen as being incredibly Andrews have got him. Most commonly seen on the feet of small toys. That didn't go well. This is a name also really normal. It just left my mouth without me saying it. The 76th most popular. Alright. So, he named Elvis became. Wow, okay, wrong. Elvis Stella. That means. There's a lot going on here, Amber. Teen named Elvis. This is really